What's up with the YouTube?
We are back with y'all and another topic.
Let's get right into it. What we got?
We're going to talk about being inactive as Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, yeah, we got a good one for them.
Yeah.
We always do. All right, let's dive into it then. All right, so what exactly is inactive? I know some of us probably know because we done been there, we were witnesses, or
we are.
Yeah, like think of somebody who has no clue because you know we had our own lingo.
Right.
Yeah.
That's gonna be another video.
Yeah.
But so basically, an inactive Jehovah's Witness, I think the basic term is somebody that's not putting in field service hours every month.
Right.
So you can be, but there's like a range of inactive Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
So you can be inactive after 1 month of no service time, but you're still very much like a part of everything. You could be inactive and not going to any of the Kingdom Hall, like no meetings, no field service time, no nothing. And you can be inactive by choice, or you can be inactive due to like health reasons.
Right. So with the health reasons, they usually get a little leeway, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So if you got somebody like elderly that just is stuck in a nursing home or something like that, that's inactive, and they get a little bit of a pass.
Yeah. They're not going to do too much questioning with that because they know that their health is not well.
Right.
But then you have like younger people or even people that are just in good health that can be inactive and not putting in field service time and not going to the meetings.
Pretty much. Now, it's the cool thing about inactive is kind of like an in-between kind of ground, and some people play it to their own benefit. And then you got a lot of people that are inactive, but they still believe, you know, in this organization. They might just not go no more, or they discouraged, or, you know, but in the back of their mind, they still got guilt.
Yeah. And I think inactive too is kind of described as they haven't sinned, but they're just not going.
Right.
Is what an elder's described it to me as before too.
Yeah. And then things get a little juicy after this. So there's a middle ground with this inactive thing. So they consider that still somewhat in good standing because you're not disfellowshipped.
Right.
But at the same time, you're not in good standing.
Yeah. So you're in good standing because everybody can still technically talk to you.
Right.
But the culture, I feel like there is such a big difference between the culture of what Jehovah's Witnesses do
it is.
and like what they're supposed to do like by the book, okay?
Right.
It's different.
Yeah.
So the culture is like a lot of people will not talk to you if you're an inactive Jehovah's Witness. They basically treat you like you're disfellowshipped because you know, they just don't know what you have been doing. They don't know what you believe, you know, whatever the case may be. I remember at the beginning stages before we woke up and I just like had stopped going to the Kingdom Hall. Okay, this will happen. I went to nursing school. So anybody who has gone to nursing school, they know it takes up so much of your time and it is so intense. Like I went to an accelerated program. It was like 19 months. So like my head was fully immersed in nursing and I had to study a lot and it just took up a ton of my time. Plus having to work on top of it. So in that time, like I had friends that like stopped talking to me and I hadn't done anything wrong at that time yet, okay? But it was just because we had been so close before that and like talking all the time, hanging out like, you know, every month or whatever. And then after that, I just had to like take a step back. Like I'm not gonna go hanging out with you every weekend. I need to study.
You got stuff to do.
Right, like I have stuff to do. And they had stopped talking to me. At that time, I was considered inactive because I wasn't going out in the ministry every month.
Right, but at the same time, they play it more like a conscious thing. Like some people are like, "Hey, it's good to see you," and then you notice, like you said, some people start to act funny towards you.
Yeah,
but this is not nowhere in the rules.
It's not scriptural. Like they started acting real funny, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" I remember one of my friends like unfollowed me on Instagram and stuff, and I was like, "Yo, like what is up with you?" Like,
and then they try to blame it on bad association. There is no such thing as bad association in this organization because it comes down to being weak-minded. Oh, I don't want you do things that I don't do, and I don't want to be around you because then you might make me. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody,
that's such a good topic. We should make that a whole video. But go ahead. Go ahead.
That's if you got a friend that decide to start smoking crack, you start like, I don't want to be around them because then I'm gonna start smoking crack. Like, are you that
how weak are you?
Yeah, you weak. You can have people that like to do things that you don't like to do. Friends and like that. You know, if drinking ain't your thing,
you don't have to drink.
You don't have to drink. Not even saying like somebody who has a drinking problem, but if you just drinking ain't never been your thing, and your friend drink, and y'all both respect each other's views, this friend ain't about to be like, man, come on, man, just hit the bottle. And you're not about to sit there sweating in the cold, sweating like this.
I remember I confronted this friend about it, and I'm like, dude, like, why'd you unfollow me? You know what her excuse was?
What?
She said, I saw that your sister was doing things, and I didn't know what her standing was, so that's why I unfollowed you.
That's weak.
Girl, what the heck does my sister have to do with me? And you're a weirdo. And
it came down to y'all all in the same boat then, and I'm gonna just stay away from all y'all.
Yep,
because I'm that weak.
Yeah, but that's also the culture of Jehovah's Witnesses, is like it creates very weak-minded people because they cannot rely. They're taught that like anything that you're thinking for yourself is like demonic. You know what I mean? It's controlled by Satan. So you're not taught to think for yourself. So if you're only relying on what you're reading from the Watchtower and Tract Society, then that means everything that they say is word and everything that they say is key. So now you're just gonna do whatever it is that they say, no matter how big and small, and people get wild, so they take it to like the extremes.
They do. Now, something cool about this whole situation, you kind of get the benefits of being disfellowship without being disfellowship. And we'll cover disfellowshipping in another video, but basically disfellowshipping is when you're pretty much free to do what you want. You just don't get to talk to if you got friends or family at the Kingdom Hall, you can't talk to them no more. Anybody else at the hall.
Right.
But you pretty much, if you already got in trouble, you can't keep getting in trouble while you disfellowship. Like, you do whatever you want to do. Yeah. But if you inactive, you are technically free to do what you want to do, but you haven't met with no elders, to be in trouble yet. So you can still live this life, and you can go to the hall if you want to, or still talk to your friends or family. Because
basically they have no idea what's going on.
Right.
Is what it is. You could have done things that can very much make you become disfellowshipped, but you just haven't told, or they have no idea, whatever. Yeah. Whatever the case may be.
Yeah, you're like in between. And what's tricky is the part after this, if you decide to come back to the hall. It's always a catch, with this organization.
Yes, facts. And just to be clear, like, if you are inactive, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have done anything wrong. You can be inactive and not have done anything wrong, but you can also be inactive and have done things wrong, okay?
Yeah, and then the elders, we put that plain and simple, but the elders are always going to push. So put it like this. You've been inactive for however long, and you decide you want to come back to the hall. Not everybody, most people are going to be, oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
And then some people are going to be standoffish. And once you make it a routine that you are coming back, it ain't that easy. You don't get to just come back and just, your seat was waiting on you. You just get to pick back up.
You don't get to just fade back in.
No,
that's not how that rolls.
It don't work like that.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to them once they come back to the Kingdom Hall?
So if they see that you have been coming back regularly for a while, then the elders are going to pique interest, and they're going to start asking questions on what you've been doing and your time away, and just kind of poking and prodding and see if it's possible that you're going to have to get disfellowshipped.
Right, and they want to make sure, they say they want to make sure you come back clean. But what's the point of coming back if we're about to kick you right back out and let you back later?
And what does that truly mean, come back clean?
Right, out of all the dirt going on in there. So yeah, you have to meet with the elders again at some point, and they ask you all these questions. I remember when I was inactive, I told the story before, but we got new followers.
Yeah.
I was disfellowshipped 2016, like early 2016, got reinstated like March of 2017. And after a while, I was inactive again because it was just like I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
And me being inactive, I would come to the hall sometime because my grandmother, she was there. And after a while, I was like hit and miss. And then I just kind of slowed down, and they asked me at one of the meetings, hey, the brother was like, hey, you mind if I just want to come by and check on you, man, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And this was during service. So that Sunday, he's like, hey, I'm going to bring brother so-and-so. He's going to tag along, if that's fine. Damn it, you knew what you was trying to do. Like, you would
just say it.
Yeah,
Be
like, this is a shepherding call. Like, you're not trying to check on me because you care.
Yeah.
So, of course, they come over during the week, and the witnesses or elders have this thing, you've been inactive. Usually when people are inactive, they do things that they shouldn't be doing, and they push. And I was at the point, I had just been disfellowshipped before that. Y'all ain't disfellowshipping me for nothing. I ain't got nothing. No, I've been chilling. Well, and they just kept pushing. If it's anything, because people usually,
Like, you can tell us, you can trust us.
Yeah, I'm chilling. So they couldn't get no answers out of me. They went on about their business, and after that, that's kind of when I stopped going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of what you have to go through. You don't get to just leave and come back like you do at church or something like that.
No, that's so true.
Yeah.
When I tell you they try to take control of every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Whew, every aspect of your life, even the good spiritual decisions that you're making in their eyes, they still want a part of that. Like, they still want to take control of that a little bit. You know?
Everything. Like that comment on our last video about the parties. And somebody was like, man, even at the parties, they want to open with prayer. Like, bruh.
Give me a break.
Like, give me a break. Funny. That was funny. That's for real. Like, no, even at basketball or, you know, at a picnic, man, we got to do this Kingdom Hall stuff all the time. Like, this is like a full-time job where you, was it like when you on call or something, like any moment you got to get buzzed into work.
But that's the thing, it's not a full-time job to them. To them, it is their life.
Yep.
Like, it's their whole personality. So if you know about Jehovah's Witnesses, then you could pick out any Jehovah's Witness and put the exact same qualities on that person.
Yeah,
that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to make you like a robot, you know, and everybody be the same.
Yeah, it's a cult.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so when you are technically out, they always talk about the prodigal son in the Bible and you being a lost sheep. It's weird because on one end, you looked at it as something good and then you something bad. Because think of this. You a lost sheep.
Yeah.
And you know the prodigal son, he welcomes his son back.
Yeah.
And you know everybody's
son returns. They made a whole movie on it.
And everybody's, you know, saying tears of joy and everybody's so happy. But let's say a pioneer sister wanted to date this inactive brother, or this elder or ministerial servant wanted to date this inactive sister. Oh, hold on.
Newly active.
Yeah, newly active.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on now, this person is not a spiritual person. So you praise on one hand, but at the same time you being shunned a little bit. You
definitely are being shunned in a way because you're looked at as spiritually weak.
Right.
So you can't just get in there and start dating. Like, that's not how that works either.
Yep.
Especially if you're dating somebody who has a title, which we covered in a different video. But if you're trying to do that, like, it's not going to work. You have to, if you go from being inactive to being active, in order to even gain like true good standing back, you have to go in there like guns blazing, like super zealous, like I'm ready to be a pioneer, commenting at every single meeting, and like going out in service every week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week. I want to be a pioneer. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, that's how you have to come back in order to get that tarnishment taken off of you.
And on top of that, it's always gonna stick with you because certain people always gonna remember. You know, you got this person, the man one time been inactive, and this person who been goody two shoes this whole time. It's like, well, you know, they have these temptations. They used to be inactive, or you know, they were disfellowship before.
Yeah.
Like, they play that game, so it's kind of like having a felony.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you always gonna have that felony stuck on your record, no matter how much you try to change your life or be a different person. Yeah. Now, you used to be disfellowship, you used to be inactive, so this person might have some stuff that rubs off on you by hanging with them. Like, you get a lot of that.
And you know what's crazy is that a lot of times it's like the most goody two-shoe people are the ones that end up being like the worst. Because they're the ones that they can't help it. You have to think about it as like a human psychology thing. If you've been like keeping in this like side of yourself, and then you see somebody else who has like been out in the world and then coming back. Like, I've seen sisters that are like all goody two shoe, but then they see this brother who like used to be out and then they're coming back in, and they are like the biggest flirters. Like, they are sitting there flirting, like tempting, like it's in the blood, you know what I mean, to do stuff like that.
Because it's not normal to have all this stuff held in and not be human.
Right, exactly. And that's why you see like the pioneer sisters married to the elders, like getting in trouble and end up getting put on reproof or disfellowshipping because they've been hiding this side of themselves, putting on that new fake personality, and now they get to let it loose with somebody else. And
that's facts. They think about the people that get in trouble are just normal. They normal people, and the ones that never get in trouble are pretending to be something they not. That's all it is. That's the only difference.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry, but it's the truth.
That's how it goes. And we're going to give y'all a gem. This is just what we did personally, but everybody's free to do what they want to do. If you want to leave this organization, because we got a lot of people, like a lot of PMOs, we'll cover that later. A lot of people are not sure how to leave, or they make I'm not gonna call it a mistake, but they jumped the gun on leaving.
Yeah.
We left by just being inactive. We just stopped going and we just bounced. Now on this part, when you become inactive, they kind of trick you because you know you can get disfellowship,
Yep.
you can become inactive, or you can disassociate. A lot of people don't know if you disassociate, you fall under the same guidelines as disfellowship.
Yeah.
Meaning everybody.
But sometimes worse.
Yep. And
Yeah.
everybody will look at you like this person turned their back on Jehovah. Don't
Yeah.
talk to them, treat them as if they disfellowship. If you go inactive, I don't owe you no explanation. Like once you, it's kind of a hurdle you got to get over after you wake up because you've been so indoctrinated in having to explain yourself all the time. Like, your brother, I didn't see you in service yesterday. I had to, or if you missed the meeting Thursday and then Sunday. The other day, like you just always got to explain yourself. So a lot of people leave this organization and feel like they got to explain why they leave. You ain't got to explain nothing. This a call. I'm out. Peace.
Right.
I don't have to answer your phone call. I don't have to come sit with y'all.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't have.
It's really giving them their power back. Like the whole thing is like a power dynamic. So
it is.
If they have shown you that, okay, if you leave, you have to tell somebody. But if you're leaving because you don't believe in the teachings anymore, that to them is apostasy. That's like the number one sin that you can commit. They treat you worse than just somebody who left because of like fornication or something.
That's
facts. Like it's way worse than that. You are basically controlled by Satan at that point.
Yeah, like you a done deal. There's no chance of you coming back.
Right.
But yeah, that's something we try to leave with people. Like when you first wake up, just hold on for a second. If you breathe and understand why they want you to give them that letter.
Yeah.
Before you do it. A lot of people do it and then down the line as they continue to wake up more, it's like, man, I shouldn't have told them nothing.
Yeah.
Like now I don't owe them no explanation.
Because what we think that we're gonna do in the process of us waking up, like we found all this new information and like you see it very clearly. The curtains have been opened, okay?
Exactly.
But you're not speaking to people whose curtains have been opened. So all that thought, all those thought-provoking questions that you have put in your outline, in your letter, they're not going to read that to the rest of the Kingdom Hall.
They not even going to read it.
As soon as they see where it's going, they're going to stop reading it.
Right.
So it's not going to do what you think it's going to do.
No, even with your family or friends that ask you, well, what do you believe? They're not interested in what you believe. They just need confirmation that you don't believe that Jehovah God is leading this organization and this is his organization. Once they got that confirmation, the conversation goes out the window. They're not trying to hear your explanation. It can make perfect sense. Think of talking to somebody that's blind and describing colors to them.
Yeah.
Like you can describe blue looks like this, orange looks like this, but
they're not going to understand.
They can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
That's talking to a Jehovah's Witness about these teachings.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. But yeah, they really try to take control of your life in that way. And they, even whenever you wake up, they still want you to go to them whenever you find new teachings, which is
the nerve of them.
I know.
So to this day, I mean, they can label us whatever they want at the heart, but we just don't go. I'm not no Jehovah's Witness, and that's my answer. I'm not disfellowship. And this is another thing that people don't understand when they call themselves, I'm out. I'm out. You in. I would say that all the time. When people are disfellowship, you're not out of nothing. You was out your mind by being in that cult. Now you in. You in reality. You not out of nothing. You not disfellowship because that's a made up term. In the Jehovah's Witness world, you're not none of that. You're just a human living life, and that stuff is non-existent now.
Yep, I agree.
That's most definitely. But I think that covered everything on this one, right?
Yep, I think so.
All right, well, on the next one, what we going to do on them?
On our next one, we're going to be talking about PMOs.
PMOs.
Yeah, PMOs.
We kind of led into the inactive and how to kind of leave, and we're going to help the people that's still stuck in it. On just a couple tips on how to deal with it or what your escape plan might be.
Yes.
Yep. So make sure y'all tune in. What they got to do?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep. And we'll catch y'all on the next one.
All right.
Peace.